You know, I'm confused. You know, that's why I'm gonna ask the question: isn't this the same people that's screwing us?
Well, that's why I say, yes, they are the same people that's screwing us. Okay,
So
our local
I'm
government.
gonna ask them to make decision on our side. On
Well,
what we want.
that's why I say the Charter of the United Nations specifies that the native inhabitants must be given the right of self-determination without external influence. Influence from our local government can be construed as external influence because they were not voted on by Chamorros only, and they are operating under the authority of the Organic Act, which is an arm of the United States government. So they are an external influence.
Now, just to go down that path on who is Chamorro. If we looked at that, they could have, you know,
Well,
created something.
a couple of first of all, the United States government, when it comes to the plebiscite, the United States is trying to take a stance that everybody on Guam should be allowed to vote,
Yes.
regardless of whether they're Chamorro or not. But that violates the Charter of the United Nations. Okay, it also violates the Helsinki Accord. Secondly, we had elected some senators into the legislature from the NMI who decided that since they wanted to be included in the plebiscite, they were going to change the definition of Chamorro.
Yes,
Okay, so without conducting the public hearings mandated by law,
it passed.
even though 3GCA, which is the self-determination Chamorro Registry Act, defines a Chamorro as one who was here in 1899 or is a descendant of one who was here in 1899 through blood relation. Okay, through blood relation, they decided to make that definition conform to the Organic Act definition of anybody who was here in 1950 and garnered their second-class United States statutory citizenship through passage of the Organic Act. Which is why when I was sitting in front of the legislature testifying, the gentleman who was sitting next to me had just registered as a Chamorro, even though he's full-blooded Filipino. But he was here in 1950 when the Organic Act passed and had just registered under that definition, had just registered as a Chamorro.
So they're trying to dissolve.
That is part of benevolent assimilation.
Yes. Now again, and thank you, because that's what I'm leading into, is that if that's the intent of the mother country, they say the United States, is to try to steer Guam and its Native Americans or its Native people into what you call again, to phase them in with their intent, and you got this number of people here steering that and controlling it and directing it. What is our chances of fighting these guys? You know, I'm not giving it up yet. I'm saying we need to know that enemy.
Well, first of all, we're not trying to fight them
before we get to the next step.
First of all, by trying to achieve Native American tribal registration, we're not trying to fight them.
Yes, I know. But
we're actually trying to join them and get closer to them.
Yes, but then again, you mentioned earlier that these people are going to come up and again question your position as a patriot. You know, are these people actually? We need to educate them too. You know, the people that are trying to,
of course,
dissolve us or infuse us to their benevolent assimilation. We need to know these people, and of course, maybe not. We just try to get a short circuit that and get to the other end to get to Congress. Again, that's another battle with Congress. I'm just.
Yeah, very shortly the United States Congress will be receiving a resolution from the Guam legislature outlining a lot of the atrocities committed against the Chamorro people by the government of the United States of America.
They know that.
There has never been a document that has been submitted to the United States Congress that has outlined all of the atrocities committed against the Chamorro people of Guam. Never. This will be the first where it's all inclusive. They've always been advised piecemeal And then you also have changes in your congressional representatives from the different states, just like you have changes in your senators from the different states. Okay, well, it's time that they all in one shot found out everything that they've been doing to us for the past 60 years. It's time for them to find out that they've been killing us.
And you know, like you said again, I'm not trying to be negative about it. I'm just wanting to make sure that all these points that we've attempted to try to bring ourselves out and recognize us as Chamorro, and that we're entitled to all these things that we are entitled to under the U.S. Constitution. You know, we need to find a starting place. Where are we going to start here? We go back and we name these different events that took place.
Well, we're a few.
Just put it away.
Yeah, we're a few steps beyond the starting place. Okay, the starting place actually occurred 7 years ago when we started doing our research, and then it progressed to us incorporating as a non-profit corporation, and now we're to the third stage where we're educating all of you so that you can know what your true status is and what options are available. And we've written a resolution for the Guam legislature to present to the United States Congress, humbly requesting that the Congress of the United States amend Title 25 and resolve the conflict within Title 25 so that we are given the option to, without conflict in the law, register as Native American tribe. Okay, right now with the conflict of the law, one part of the law says we can, the other part of the law says no we can't, but the part of the law that says no we can't was written before the part that was amended to include us. So therefore, does the part that was amended to include us supersede the part that was written at an earlier date, as most laws usually do when they're amended?
Yes.
Okay, so rather than submitting an application for registration and then having to go to court, we feel it is more beneficial for us to request that the Congress of the United States resolve this conflict within Title 25 so there is no longer a conflict, so that the path is clear and the option is clear for us to file for registration. And that will be the next step.